Let's get ready to waffle right after this.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ballard just got back from his trip to South America.
Yes.
He, well, you saw it.
Good morning, Beth.
We were talking. Hey, Beth.
Yeah.
He was in the Sao Paulo airport when Brazil got knocked out of the World Cup. It was the most depressing place ever.
This is a sad place.
Sad place. So I get it.
Yeah. I'm anxious to hear his report back from the game that the match that he went to last week. He'll be back next week.
Yep.
Oh boy, I got sleepies this morning. I don't know how to wake up.
I went to bed early last night and got up at 5:15 a.m. because I was awake.
It's like bing.
So, yeah, there you go. But
Summertime is not my best sleeping time. I don't know why.
well, that's interesting. I've never really thought about that because my sleep's always been pretty wonky anyway.
Yeah, summertime is hard on me. I don't know why. I don't. The light, probably just the differences in the light.
Yeah, it could be. We've got blackout curtains. So that
Yeah, I can't really blackout curtain my house. I mean, I could, but it would turn into like a total lair.
Well, just the bedroom.
I can't. It's
Yeah.
all open to things.
Yeah.
Like it's there. It's in the middle of things.
We just have the one bedroom in the window, one window in the bedroom.
Yeah, so that's easy.
We can, but like our living room, is like all glass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's kind of
can't do that.
doesn't work.
We had deer in the yard last night.
There's deer everywhere.
So there is, but it's fun when they're in your yard.
Yeah, you're like, hey, buddy.
So we had first we saw like a doe. We're like, oh, that's cute. I took a little video, posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then we're watching Taskmaster. That's a show we like to watch.
Yeah.
And Shelby's like, oh, there's a buck, and there was a buck. I didn't count the points, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a huge rack, but it's probably a young buck. But he had some points.
Nice.
So I got video of that, and
That's cool.
we put that on the TikToks
On the TikTok.
along with I think my Facebook page. But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, there's deer everywhere. Saw one driving. I'm driving a lot right now, so I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
deer
The other
everywhere.
night when I was coming home from I think a pool trip, I was like, "There's deer literally everywhere. Please do not run in front of my car." Crazy deer.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was a busy weekend, America. Holy moly! So you did double parade duty on Saturday, right?
Yeah, 2 parades, but we started Tuesday
Yeah.
with the Webster County Fair, so we had a booth up there.
Yep.
So we were there every night from 4 to 9.
That's cool.
And then, Saturday, Marshfield Parade in the morning, which is an amazing parade.
It's amazing.
That
it's
was
very
your
cool. First venture over there for that.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I feel a little
It was cool.
bad that you were walking with us because you
No.
didn't get to experience, watching it, but
I felt like I've experienced watching
I
it.
think you
Like
because we were in the middle. I think we were kind of in the middle.
it seemed that way. Yeah.
And then, but by the time we circled back to the beginning, I don't know
Yeah.
if did you come all the way back when you were done?
Yeah.
The end of the
Yes.
parade was just leaving. just leaving when we got all
Was
the way.
it really?
Yeah, because the horses are in the back for obvious reasons.
Yes, the
And
road
we
apples.
We could see the horses up there. So.
Holy moly.
They did live stream it, and there's video on Facebook if anybody wants to go back.
I wonder, did they see how long that one was? I wonder if it was one of their record breakers, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I should ask Lendl Fraker. He might.
I'd be curious to know. Curious to know.
Should have him come on the show. They do. Lendl is host of a. I think it's called What's Happening Marshfield or something like
cool.
that. The chamber, the Marshfield Chamber puts that
Nice.
on, and their school. They've got their school media department that produces it. So
That'd be cool.
you know
I
they're
like that
not.
idea.
They're not hanging out amateurs like us. Peter's a pro. So.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like a pro at this point,
Uh-oh.
but then I kind of don't too.
I need a filter. I'm all red from being outside.
From being sunned.
I'm looking at myself on the
My nose is
like,
kinda red from
look-
being
I'm like,
sunned.
oh, my whole head is red. Of course, the white.
It's that time
Hair
of year.
sets that
It's
off.
that time of year for the sunburns,
Yeah.
slight sunburns.
It's not. I'm not sunburned. I'm just red.
Just
I don't-
red.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's.
it
I don't know.
So it was a lot of fun.
It was
met
fun.
So many people the whole time, and got to watch little glimpses of the rodeo. I love
Yeah.
watching rodeo.
Yeah.
So much fun. Got to see the demolition derby on
Demo derbies are awesome.
Saturday
They're
night.
a hoot.
It was
The
a lot of fun.
personalities of the demo derby are my favorite part.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I mean the car wrecking's hilarious and fun and exciting, but
Yes.
when you get the characters, they're all characters usually. If you're participating in a demo derby, the guy that jumps out of the car and I don't know, it's hilarious. It's great.
Not a lot of jumping out of cars going on. I don't think.
That's usually in the time when someone's stopped and somebody's got beef with each other and they
yeah.
decide they're gonna
I didn't see any of that. There didn't seem to be any beef.
they may tell them to not get out of the cars anymore.
Yeah. Well, if there are at times during it, they'll all blow their air horns and wave their
Yeah.
flags, and everybody has to stop. And I think that's when they're getting people out of derelict vehicles.
Yes, they're like, we gotta stop, we gotta
But
mess.
there was one car that got knocked high centered on one of the concrete barriers.
Nice.
It was fun.
That's epic.
It's funny though because they've all got these. I mean, it sounds like they've got these super beefed up engines.
Yeah.
And then they're on dirt, so
Yeah.
they can't. And they're very packed in. They're pretty tight.
Yes.
Nobody can get up a head of steam to really lay into anybody. So it's
Yes.
not that, but they do. Aim for tires and stuff. You're not allowed to drive directly into a driver's side door. That gets you
That tracks.
disqualified.
That
So
tracks.
there's some safety issues
Yep.
involved, but. Yeah, there was a lot of times there was at least enough going on that the concrete, those huge concrete parking barriers, you see, were getting knocked around,
Knocked out of the way.
knocked out of place. They'd have to bring in a skid steer and put them back in.
It's a hoot. It's really fun. That's something that I feel like every American should experience, or not necessarily American, everyone
I was
should
gonna say,
experience
at this point, the Europeans.
all around the world.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to take some of them to demo derby.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
good
apparently
stuff.
some of them made some rodeos and were quite
Yo, yeah. The fun continues.
flabbergasted, I think is the right word.
And again, we talked about this on the Waffle, I think, a couple shows ago. I just really hadn't thought about there not being rodeos in other places.
Right.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, we talked about, I guess, maybe Spain.
Maybe, yeah.
had some, but, there's just not that
Not that
open range
thing.
cattle industry.
Yeah.
That's
Sparked the
part of our
this.
history. Yeah, because they're just doing, other than riding bulls, they're just doing what they do for
Doing
work.
what they do. Beth says the longest parade route ever for our high school was Lebanon. The kids were ready for that one to be over when they hit the midway point. They're like,
I'm
we're
sure.
done.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize the horses were leaving when I got on a truck and rode back, and I didn't realize the horses were leaving when we looped back around. That's interesting.
By the way, I have about 100 pounds of sour balls in my house.
Sour balls.
Yeah, we have some leftover candy, but we've got some events.
You can figure out some path for those.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I love the sour balls. Those are my favorite. So I'll just get after them. And I'll be okay. Take my Prilosec.
Take
and,
these out by Christmas. Give me another Prilosec.
Yeah. So.
Oh my! It was fun though. We had a good time. When the girls were bored while we were waiting, which obviously everybody's bored.
We all were.
Everybody's bored while you're waiting. You're sitting there baking in the sun, and then when it was all said and done, the girls really got into it. And we got home, and Claire was like, "That was exhilarating." And I was like,
I love it. That's amazing.
They both had a blast, and I kept telling them, like, just wait, it'll be fun. Like, if you just wait, it will be fun, I promise. And
it's always fun when people are happy to see you.
Yes.
And when you're carrying buckets of candy, people are happy to see you.
They're like, Mom, everyone said thank you. They were having I'm like, yeah, it's fun. Like, they had a great time. They really enjoyed it.
You know, you learn something every time you do.
Yes.
Pretty much anything.
Absolutely.
You know, we kind of got those beads as an afterthought to hand out.
Beads were bomb.
They were the super popular thing. We were almost more than the candy. People
Everybody
were like,
wanted the beads.
Give me the beads, yeah.
Everybody wanted the beads. They liked that. Adults and kids, too. That was a lot of fun. And, I mean, beads are... It was fun. We had a good time. I did feel... We got done, and... I was like, well, I'm kind of hungry. And Jesse's like, yeah. And he's like, we should probably go to Buc-ee's. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good day for a Buc-ee's brisket sandwich. And so Buc-ee's was slammed busy, as you can expect, on the 4th of July.
Sure.
And so we went and we got our Buc-ee's brisket chop sandwich. And I got some beaver nuggets. And it was good. It was the perfect end. Glorious was Jesse's brisket sandwiches are obviously better.
Of course.
Yours are, Skinner's, all these are better than Buc-ee's. But a Buc-ee's chopped brisket sandwich after a parade, that was a good call.
Well, I got home from knocking doors last night.
Oh, Beth says she loves the kids. They did good last night. Or last week.
Yeah, they were. It's always
They did
fun
a good
to have
job.
them on
Thanks,
there.
Beth.
Shelby had made some heroes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. So
very good.
Homemade tzatziki, and she
good
marinated
stuff.
the chicken for 8 hours, and
good stuff.
It's
good summer
tomatoes and lettuce and
the whole thing
from the garden. And
yep.
The Kalamata olives came out of a jar, but
Yeah, we don't have any olive groves here yet.
We're
not there yet in the, Somo area.
Maybe we should start one.
I don't know. Probably they don't like our weather.
Could be. We should research that.
I bet they don't like
somebody look into that and get back to us.
I bet
Can
they
we grow
do not like
olives
our winters.
in the Ozarks.
Be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had chopped salads last night. That was good. I had some herbs from my garden. My tomatoes are trying to do stuff, but they're not. I've got 2 off, but they were like the original ones that came up, and I don't know. We'll see.
Shelby said that our squash got drowned.
Yeah.
So it was wet enough that they actually rotted. So
the squash was like too much.
And I told her, I said, well, I wouldn't worry about it because people are always giving away the squash.
Squash is if you're going to lose one, squash is the one to lose.
One.
Yeah.
So we lost that, but we got blackberries.
That's nice.
We got blackberries.
I've seen lots of blackberries out in the fields ready to go.
So yeah, we got a harvest of those. But golly, that reminds me, I got to get down to Williams Meat because my cured ham from Emma Coppertop Farm is ready.
Nice.
So I picked up, the uncured meat. I don't know.
We did that
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I've already made the pulled pork.
Yep.
I've used the Italian sausage in a lasagna.
Nice.
And I'm halfway through my second pound pack of breakfast sausage.
It's good stuff.
So yeah.
We've baconed so far. I've got mine set up. I need to do some pork chops.
Would you believe I didn't get any bacon or pork chops?
Why didn't you get any bacon or pork chops?
Well, I think I had all the bacon parts turned into sausage because
I
like sausage.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure why I didn't get any pork chops because I'm not that familiar with the anatomy of a hog. But I think it's
pork chops.
I got loin.
Oh, if you got whole loins,
I got
then,
whole loin.
Yeah, that's why.
And I assume that's why I didn't get pork chops. But for smoking and outdoor cooking,
the bigger pieces are better.
Yeah. Those pork loins when you smoke them are amazing.
Yes, they're good.
If you marinate them and brine them, and season them up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're kind of dry and flavorless. But
and it's like you get the pork chops. We do lots of good things with pork chops. We make schnitzel, and I use them for stir fries and
I really screwed up because Shelby really likes pork chops, so I really goofed by not getting some of the chops.
Well, you can take a loin and cut it into pork chops.
Yeah, that's my theory is I may do kind of half and half on that.
That'd be a good call. That'd be a good way to do it. Then you can cut them the thickness that you want for however you're doing them. Like a thick pork chop?
Yeah. Have you ever? Yeah.
I don't do. That's not my thing. No, I don't. I like pork chops are really hard to cook right where they don't dry out.
Well,
it's tricky.
You're right, and I think that's because the guidance forever has been 165 on pork.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
If it's been frozen, it doesn't have to be.
It's been frozen, and so 145.
Yeah.
150.
Yep.
Fine, and then you've still got a nice juicy pork chop.
Yep. Because I have a hard time. That's why I would prefer to like pound them out, like I said, and do schnitzel or
schnitzel's good.
I've done some different stuff with them, but yeah, I usually have mine, and the girls really like them that way too, and they like them in like Chinese food, like I'll make sweet and sour pork or it's good stuff.
Next on MasterChef, we're gonna
I'm really when Ballard's not here, I'm pretty sure all we talk about is food.
Well, that's so we don't talk about politics because that's the other option.
That's the other politics. It's an interesting race happening right now. I mean, it really is, and we can talk about it a little bit. It's kind of fascinating. Like always, people's opinions are very intense. A lot of it is based on stuff that they've heard through the grapevine or seen. I don't know. It's getting harder. I don't know. It's always been hard though to get the message out there without it getting tangled up in the garbage and the noise. But
I mean, I've been engaging a little bit, and I'm committed to backing off again because I just don't.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't. It's like playing whack-a-mole with one arm.
Yes.
But misgivings are fine. Misunderstandings need to be corrected, and misinformation needs to be combated. But I'm not sure I'm the only one that needs to do it.
Well, and the problem is that. I didn't hear the whole clip. I saw a deal about J.D. Vance was basically saying that like what happened with Nixon would have been like a 12-minute news cycle in modern times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the problem. Even if that was dicey, even if
survived,
you go through and dispel the nonsense, I'm not sure you're getting any headway.
Well, here's what I run into. I mean,
I think people have already moved on to the next thing they're mad about, if that makes sense.
There's that, and then, there's generally two reactions on social media when we talk about political issues, and I'm talking about Amendment 5. That's what everybody's talking about, is people will listen and go, okay, I hadn't thought about that, and that's about 20% of the people.
Yeah.
The other 80% just don't want to be wrong.
No, and it
doesn't matter what you say or how you show that, hey, I'm not mad at you. I don't think less of you. I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm just saying, this is really what it says. And what you're saying it says or what it's going to do is not
what it says.
Not what it says. So take another look. And I think, and I always watch, I don't want to call it, I don't really watch The Ratio, but that's what they call it, The Ratio, Mm-hmm. And, I can tell in my comments and back and forth, there's the one person that I'm engaging with that I know that I'm clearly not going to change their mind.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's not anything other than now we're into I want to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
I want to prove me right. But you look at all of the likes and the reactions, and that's why I stay in.
Yeah.
Because other people are reading that.
Yes.
And they're reading it and looking at both sides
and digesting
and making a good decision.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's wonderful. The flip side of that is I've talked to a lot of people face to face.
Yeah.
And by the time we're done, when you talk face to face and you can really have a dialogue, okay, now we're going to make some progress.
Yeah.
Now
and
we're going to make some progress.
Chapel's doing a town hall meeting at Time to Loaf tonight at 6:30, and he's going to talk about each amendment, and I'm going to be there. I'm anxious to listen.
Nobody better, smarter,
Yeah.
has more information and understanding on all those amendments than Darren Chappell.
Yeah.
If I have a question,
You go to him.
I go to Darren.
Yeah.
I go to Darren to find out. I'm going to try to get there, but I'm speaking on estate planning in Nixa tonight.
Yeah, we got a job.
So when I get done, I have to work one day a week still.
Yeah.
It's not true. I have to work every day, but my emails and text messages never stop.
Correct. It is weird. It's a little bit weird to me, Amendment 5 is one of those that it's not, it really shouldn't be like an emotionally driven.
Oh, but it is.
And I don't understand that. Like, okay, to me, it's in essence, it boils down to tax code. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tax code. Typically, when you're reading the IRS tax code, you're not getting upset. Well, I mean, I guess you're getting upset.
Well, I'm getting upset.
But you're not getting like, they're almost treating this like a hot button issue, like an abortion type issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's that it makes sense where like, okay, I get on abortion, why people can get emotionally driven in their answers and responses. I understand that because it's such a difficult thing to talk about. I get that. I'm like, people, this is tax code. You can have, like you've said in your comments, because I've been reading some of them, you can have differing opinions on the proper or what you think is the right way for the tax code to be the most effective, basically. That's completely normal. But this weird, passionate, like,
Name calling?
anger, name calling is bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like it's literal tax code. It's one of the most boring things on the planet, although it does affect everyone's money. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's very strange to me, this approach. And that tells me that a lot of these opinions are just coming from things that have been fueled by the PACs and that type of stuff.
Well, emotion is the most persuasive tool we have.
Yeah.
If you're in sales or politics or anything, emotion is what gets people stirred up, motivated, moving, and voting.
Yeah.
And so people know that, and they revel in it.
Yeah.
And that's what they use. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps there are certain scenarios where emotion is if you got a war, let's get emotional about it.
Let's get emotional. I mean, people are dying.
People are dying. But
Yeah.
I agree. Like your tax code or the way we're going to
Like,
amend our Constitution are not emotional
They're
issues.
really not things to
we
get
should-
knife fights about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess you could argue. I guess you could go back and argue that it's, taxation. And so that is, but
we
still.
did fight a war.
We did fight a war over that.
taxes,
But I
and-
mean, still, and I get that. But again, it's like, these are things that need to be discussed in conversations and with understanding of what people are actually saying, not getting heated and upset. It's like making a business decision.
Yeah.
You're not making good business decisions if you're making them while you're upset or heated.
Mm-hmm.
This is a business decision. It should be approached in that way.
Well, and you read the comments and you read the posts, and if you have an understanding of logic and rhetoric and all of that, because that's why we keep these posters up here. That's logical fallacies and stuff. I mean, you just quickly see it. I mean, it's like, oh, they're attacking motive. So, okay, well, if you're having to attack motive, it's because you can't attack the issue.
Yeah.
Because the issue's solid.
Well, and it's very similar with the data center thing, right? That became this just emotional attack thing. Okay, so first of all, what happened then is when it became emotional like that, we didn't really get to talk about what was really going on. And then once people did start talking about what was really going on, people just called them liars.
Yes.
And so then you got to a point where you're like, well, now I have no idea what to believe about this.
Well,
and
now we can't have a conversation.
No, and there's no conversation because you've called me a liar.
Right.
And it's like, people, but I have really no faith in this type of behavior stopping because we're literally facing a mountain with social media and the media and all this on all of these topics. We can't just have normal conversations anymore about how things should be done.
Face to face, you can.
You can,
usually.
absolutely, yeah.
You usually can. I mean, at the fair, we had tons of great conversations.
That's good.
Had tons of great conversation with folks knocking doors about stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking to some folks yesterday, and they had some concerns about an issue I wasn't really that familiar with.
Yeah.
So I just said, you're going to have to educate me on this.
Yeah, let me know.
And
What is it?
I listened to them to let them tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more about that. And they had a special situation, and I'm not going to get into it.
Sure.
But I'm like, okay, something I don't know anything about, but I'm happy to learn.
Well, and I think people who don't know you, and lawyers get a lot of grief just from the get. But
I'm the least lawyer you know.
I think people who don't know you, because you are a strong, opinionated person who's not afraid to talk about them and always has been that, I think they lump you in the unwilling to listen category, and you are not in that category.
Well,
I mean, I think a lot of people who probably would talk to you face to face would realize that. And often lawyers are misunderstood people, lawyer kid here. Sometimes intentionally, yeah. But I think a lot of people, like I said, because you have never been afraid to voice your opinions, just operate under this assumption that you won't even listen to them. And that's false. Like it just is. You're actually a very kind person.
Well,
so it's, and I hope people understand that, because again, when you're a strong, I often am misunderstood at times too. I'm quite a strong personality. I know I'm difficult, but then anytime I've ever invited one of those misunderstandings to come sit and talk to me, usually it goes just fine.
Sure.
Yeah. And so people need to do that more.
Yeah. Well, and I think that plays a lot into a sideline, the conversation we had before we went on the air. The fear of something sometimes is usually worse than the thing itself.
Yes.
And so, there's
100%.
a lot of times like, oh, I don't want to talk to them, because and you're afraid, you get scared because of the conflict, but the actual conversation usually goes way better than you ever imagined it would.
Yes.
And so just overcoming that, taking the bold adult step to say, let's talk about this. I can only think of maybe one scenario where that wasn't true.
And there's always those outliers.
But generally speaking, just sit down and reason with somebody.
Yeah, and like it's the Europeans that are over here, they're talking about, I was afraid to come to America. I thought it was a dangerous place. And I mean, there are dangerous places in America. There's dangerous places everywhere. And often danger is lurking where you don't even realize it.
Exactly.
And it's like, but I came here and I'm so glad I did because everyone is so nice. And it's like, yeah, I mean, and that's really resonated with me because we get so pent up on our bad interactions with people. Okay, I had a bad interaction with a waitress, let's say. Mm-hmm. Well, you had 20 good interactions before that bad interaction. So we need to reframe what triggers us, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and what I think is good to understand, and this is why I think international travel is wonderful.
Yeah.
People are people wherever you go.
Yeah.
We've made several trips to China and
Yeah.
Beijing, and I mean the people are great. I mean,
Yeah.
they love you. They love that you're there. They want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a completely different culture.
Sure.
And you want to be respectful of that culture.
That's the key. You can't blaze into a place and be like, this is how we're going to do things.
America.
Yeah, that's not going to be treated well.
No.
Which would you appreciate if somebody showed up on your doorstep and did that?
Well, we don't because they're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
But
Beth says, keeping an open mind is not weakness. There's value in being able to discuss and look at different sides. 100%. Mm-hmm. And like to me, the most interesting conversations come from people that I don't necessarily agree with on everything. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, you're not in your vacuum anymore. You're hearing the kind of interesting things, the different motivations, different understanding, different life. But no, people are people everywhere. Yeah. They really are. Yep. And I think it's okay to have different cultures and different things that you're used to. That's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just, you also have to be mindful of where you are and what's going on around you and, not make a, what out of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, but I think that's fascinating. And I never really thought about like media in other countries talking about like America as this unsafe. I mean, obviously they would report on incidents because our media doesn't talk about other I will say that about our media.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they bash other countries.
No, they bash us. They bash
us. Apparently everyone's just bashing us.
Of course.
That's I guess, exactly which usually when the target's on your back, that's because you're,
amazing.
And so it's very fascinating, and I'm so glad it's happened, and I hope it continues because I think a lot of people have looked at that and been like, you know what? If the Europeans think our country is pretty great, maybe our country is pretty great.
Yeah, except for the people that have been attacking the Europeans for being too pro-American.
Which is bonkers.
The Americans.
That's the old, let me tell you what you know.
Yeah.
I know better than you know about your own self.
Yeah.
Who the crap is doing that? That's nuts.
Well, Freddie shut down his Twitter
from the
X account.
the troll thing.
I
just it's crazy, and there's some people out there who just refuse to have a good time. That's
you're right.
That is a real type of personality.
I judge a little, for Rogersville and Stratford, and so I always, but the conversation came up. It's like I expect everybody in my court to have a pleasant day.
Yeah.
Unless they just refuse.
Yeah.
And there are those that will come and they're just bound and determined to have a bad day in court. And it's like, I'm sorry, you're going to have a bad day. And, here's how you could not have a bad day. And they refuse. And
okay.
All right.
Get what you have asked for.
99% of that. And it's funny. We'll have people like, this is the nicest court I've ever been in.
Yeah, man.
And then you go, well, how many have you been in?
Do we need to have a side conversation? Maybe you need to find the Lord.
Back when we used to do prosecuting stuff or there, you'd see, I didn't do this. It wasn't me. I was watching this interaction. But, somebody went to a court and they were negotiating with the prosecutor. And they looked at him and said, well, in Springfield Municipal Court, they do blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're spending too much time.
You need to stay out of the court.
You're spending way too much time.
Maybe you should
if you're not a lawyer and you're that familiar.
In the court that you're comparing notes to different courts.
You
probably shouldn't do that.
Maybe re-examine our life.
Well, and everybody's like, the videos are like, people are just so nice. They're so caring and giving. And, part of it's a novelty. I think people get on their best behavior. When somebody walks in with an accent, you're like, well, this is fascinating,
Yeah.
And so there's that element to it. But, the monkey in the room it's because Christian values is what built the United States.
It is.
And that is what it is. Mm-hmm. And which is, churches are not perfect because people are not perfect.
Right.
And there have been a lot of things bad that have happened with any religion. That is how that is. And there's people who use that religion as a tool to do bad things. We know that. But no, guys, that's why. I mean, it really is. It's not just of the goodness of people's hearts.
Well, I listened to I guess it was a sermon. I mean, he's a preacher. He wasn't in church. He wasn't preaching. He was addressing an audience, I believe, of other pastors. Golly, I can't remember exactly how he led into it, but somebody was basically, questioning the either morality or something of that in Christianity. And he was like, okay, you have to understand because you live in the Western world, your conception of right and wrong and what's moral is based on a Judeo-Christian ethic.
It is.
Because it's the DNA of Western culture is...
Believer or not, that is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
So it's almost, according to his statement, disingenuous for someone who professes to not be a Christian.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a very specific category. To call into question the morality of something anybody else does, Christian or not, based on what their perception of morality is, or to call into question of a Christian morality because their standard that they're judging against is inherently a Christian standard. Even if they're a professing non-Christian.
There were people who came over here who colonized the United States. What were they?
Yeah, Christians.
They were Christians.
All of them.
All of them. And that's the thing.
To a greater or lesser extent.
To greater or lesser extent. And very different, I think, Christians than the modern day American Christian
Absolutely.
was. Tolerance, respect, and caring for each other because we are all human. That's right, Beth. And so it's like to ignore that is silly, frankly. And and I will say this holds true in other countries who primarily have some different, I'm not going to put all of different religions in this category, but there are other religions that do have similar niceness about them. There is and I'm not going to say it's the same principles because there's differences, but so I don't want people to be like, well, Christian is the only religion where you can be a nice person. That's false. That's not true at all.
Be a nice person.
And be anything.
Or
nothing.
But
your
conception of what niceness is still
maybe
comes from a Judeo-Christian.
Yes, and so that's and I think that's and I've waffled a couple of times
Well,
on
this is the right place.
yeah
to do that.
on making some comments on some of these posts about like that's why that is why.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that everybody in the United States is a obviously practicing Christian believer, but that is the principle of the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
We came here a long time ago because of religion together, because we had been, I'm blanking on the word, persecuted. There we go. And we set up communities where we decided to take care of each other.
Well, the conception, the structure of our government, the Constitution, if you read what the founders wrote, repeatedly they said, this will work if we have a Christian nation.
Yeah.
They had grave concerns that it would not work if we were not a
yeah, because it won't if it becomes a dog-eat-dog world.
No.
When you have freedom and you have greed, you have a problem.
And the restraint on that is a constitutional republic.
Yeah.
Not a democracy. They greatly feared democracy and direct democracy because they knew that greed and fear, 50% plus one, then becomes the master of everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's what they didn't want. Fascism run by a mob is no different than fascism run by an oligarchy or an individual.
Yep.
It's still a fascist state, and it's the constitutional republic, which has a rule of law, not a rule of majority.
Yep.
Rule of law that allows us to be successful. So those are important distinctions that we don't even teach anymore.
No.
And
well, and again, a lot of people it's a soundbite world, and a lot of people just don't take the time to dive into this stuff.
Let's teach theory of governance. Let's teach logic. Let's teach rhetoric. Let's teach those things instead of gender studies or whatever else we're getting into in the schools these days.
Which,
that will not help you.
No, it won't, because it's focus on the main big principles that everyone is dealing with.
If we're going to have public schools, we should teach those public values.
General.
Yeah, this is why our country was founded. This is why it works. This is why we need to keep it this way. That would be a good function of a public school.
There's niche things in this world that we don't really need to dive into every day. And then there's things that literally affect every single person.
Well, hey, if
those are the things we should focus on. You can do that.
Sure.
You can do that. That's my thing. If you're interested in those things, you can do that and partake. But that is not a principle that we need to be discussing with everyone every single day, because not everyone is in this vein. Like, there are things that literally affect every person all the time. Those things should be the focus.
I heard this was a sermon. I saw this, I think, yesterday, and he was preaching, and he just said, tolerance is mentioned in the Bible. I think he said 7 or 8 times, and every time in a negative context. It's negative context.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, because tolerance and respect are 2 different concepts. You can have respect for someone, but yet not tolerate their behavior, but we're still respectful.
Well, and that's the thing. Teaching general human respect, kindness. Tolerance is a word. It's one of those words that's morphed over the years.
Well, it's
I
become
think
a
lot.
Sword, not a shield.
Yeah. So it's a hot button word. But if you are taught to be good to everybody, guess what? That encompasses everybody.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing. And we all know, obviously, Jesus was the example, the prime example of that. But when things got down to it and he needed to be serious, well, he was serious all the time, I'm sure. But,
I think he had a good time.
I think he was
record in there of being a fun guy to hang around with.
Fun guy. And it's like, if you teach that general opinion of treat people the way you want to be treated, be kind, be good, it works for everybody. If you try to grab a topic, a very specific topic, and jam it down people's faces that we're just supposed to accept an anomaly or a niche or something like that, that's when it becomes complicated.
Yeah.
But again, if you teach general kindness and being a good person, that encompasses every person.
Be respectful.
That's it. Be respectful, be kind. Doesn't mean you have to jump on every bandwagon, and you shouldn't. But yeah, that's it. That covers it. That covers all of it.
We nailed it right there. That's the whole show.
That's right, Beth. Teach them to think for themselves.
All right.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll have Chris with us back.
I bet we'll have Chris back.
I'm
I'm excited to hear his rendition of
anxious for the update on the World Cup.
The World Cup game that he went to. It'll be fun.
The whole thing. He knows what's going on.
That's right. I watched the game last night. My 2 cents is Belgium was a better team.
So this is
which was what is expected
USA
from soccer
had a
fans.
bad night.
Yeah, they were off. They did not. But I'm not.
They lost, I assume.
They lost. Yeah,
So they're out.
They're out.
Okay.
I watched the game.
Bummer.
I think probably on a good night it would have been hard. And Ballard said that, right?
Yeah.
That once they got to the 16, it would be a pretty anomaly for them to move on.
Yep.
But
Now that we're getting down to the bottom 8, I might be able to keep track of what's going on.
yeah, it is fun. And this is funny. One more thing.
Yeah.
We scored. I screamed because it was exciting. I don't really know why I screamed that loud, but I just did. Evie was making cookies in the other room, goes into the duck and cover position because I screamed. I was like, she's like, you scared me so bad. I thought we were getting bombed. I'm like, she goes, I've been saying this is why we don't mess with Iran. I'm like, what? This apparently is how little I overreact. She immediately assumed we were getting nuked because I let out.
Amazing.
So, amazing. There we go. I need to talk to one with Evie about Iran and do some other things.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
We'll be back next week. Thanks for
Bye,
watching.
guys.